I'm experienced now, professional. Jaw's been broke, been knocked down a couple times. I'm bad. Been chopping trees. I done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator. That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
Man, dude.
Bad. Fast. Last night, I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark.
Welcome back to the Staley and English show. It's your boy, Coach English. With me is Coach Staley and Coach Kurtz. Coach Kurtz is back for a second go-round. We hope he's going to stay from here on out. But, Josh, how was your week?
Man, hello, everyone. The week was blessed. No complaints. Got to go down to Tallahassee this weekend and see my Seminoles go to war. We fell a little short of the mark to a very hot and good North Carolina State team. Freshman quarterback James Blackman. I was very pleased with him. Hopefully my Redskins can get a win tonight.
Yeah, Coach Kurtz. I'm happy to be on here again. Appreciate you guys inviting me back on. So last week was great, and I'm happy to be with you guys again.
Yeah, glad to have Micah back. Today we're going to get into a topic. We're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about what it takes to be great. We have tryouts coming up, so we're going to also talk about how to make a team, how to make the team, what coaches are looking for. And finally, we're going to talk about the privileged athlete. You know, are you one of those guys that needs special attention to be all in, or are you a guy that's willing to do whatever it takes for your team to be successful? So we got some very interesting topics. I noticed Coach English didn't say anything about his Giants. I see you guys took one on the chin today.
Well, here's the thing. I've never said anything about my sports teams on the show so far. So I will continue to do that. We only talk championships. So until that moment, I'll keep it as what it is.
I just wanted to know why you're so quiet about those guys. If that's your team, Coach Kurtz is okay.
Well, I did make.
Bill's got that win.
Yeah, Buffalo got a big win today.
First off, their name is Buffalo. So let's start there. All right, that's the upper state part of New York. They don't really count. So when they win, nobody knows anyway. All right. So let's start. I didn't even know the Bills had fans.
That's all we got. That's all we got is the Bills in Buffalo.
I respect Buffalo, but the Giants and the Jets play in the same stadium, right?
Very much so.
It's starting to look like it because they play the same. Like both teams are losing.
Everybody goes through their winning and losing, some more than others. Redskins, but we trying to figure it out. Today we scored more points than we've had all season. So we figured something out today. Eli still threw 2 interceptions. I wish they would trade him already. That's me personally.
He's retiring the Giants.
I haven't liked him since we drafted him. I felt like we gave up too much.
Man, you can't say that. Man, look, the guy won you 2 Super Bowls.
He did not win us 2 Super Bowls. That defense won us 2 Super Bowls. But we're not even. Don't even get me started with that because I could do that by itself. Okay, so I am not disrespectful. Look we had 2 top 5 defenses those 2 years we won, and then first off, you got somebody who had stick 'em on their helmet for one of them. I mean, come on, man. And they probably should have blew the whistle dead. I'm happy as a Giant that we have 2 Super Bowls under him. But let's not make it seem like it was because of him. It was in spite of him.
Well, I hope you never enjoy those Super Bowls for what you just said about Eli.
Okay, that's fine. Guy. I mean, it's so. I mean, at least it's like a family member. Only your family member could talk bad about you.
Oh, I got you. All right, well let's get this thing kicked off with our first topic today. Well, what it takes to be great. And when we're talking about great, we're talking about, the overall athlete, the overall student athlete, what it takes to be great. And Micah is going to start out with his with the topic from the physical aspect first.
Yeah, so obviously to be great, you need to be a great athlete. The best players are the best athletes. And one thing that Coach Smith at Oak Hill Academy always talks about is when NBA GMs are calling him and they talk about guys and what it takes to play in the league. He says they need to be able to do 2 out of 3 things very, very, very well. They need to be able to shoot, rebound, defend. If they can do 2 out of 3 of those things extremely well, they got a shot to be a very good player. And so to be a great rebounder and to be a great defender, you have to have 2 things: desire and athleticism. And desire, that's internal. Anybody can have that, which I know you're going to talk more about that. But to be athletic, A, you have to be blessed with great genetics, but B, you also have to buy into a strength program. You need to get in the weight room. I tell my athletes all the time, and I mean it's obvious with guys like LeBron James, the best players are the best. The best players are the best athletes. If you're bigger, faster, stronger than your opponents, and you have the desire to play hard, you rebound and defend, then you can be a very good player. And if you want to be able to rebound, be able to defend, then you need to be bigger, faster, stronger, more athletic than your opponents. So it's obvious, and it's awesome that LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Russell Westbrook and guys like that are very open and talk about how hard they train in the weight room. And so that stigma of basketball players not lifting and not training has kind of gone away. And guys coming up nowadays know that they need to buy into a strength program if they want to be great.
Well, what do you tell them, Michael? What do you tell those kids that, like, I'm pretty sure every kid that comes into the weight room does not automatically see those weights and those 45s and says, yes, okay, I'm gonna go hard. Like, how do you get them to that point where they understand that that's what they need to be great?
Yeah, I mean, we've been lucky at AC Florida to be able to develop a culture of training where it's expected, where we've had guys come through like Ryan Davis, Carl Gamble, Matt Howard, guys that all went on and played college athletics that were also some of the hardest workers in the weight room. And then also Coach Staley, the head coach, the CEO of the program, puts a precedence on strength training. So, I mean, once you've developed that culture where some of your best players are also your hardest workers in the weight room, and then your coach puts a very high precedence on strength training, like Coach Smith at Oak Hill puts a very high precedence on those guys lifting weights. And when it comes from the top, that expectation is known, and they know that they've seen the results from the guys that have come before them. And then we also do a lot of assessing our guys and test them frequently throughout the year. And I think we all know, any of us that have been involved in a strength training program, when you start to see those results in your body, you start to see your body change, you start to feel quicker, you start to feel yourself jump higher. Now you get addicted to that training program. And once you get addicted, once you see those results, then it makes my job a lot easier. And so we just on Thursday, we just did NBA Combine, the exact same drills that they do at the NBA Combine with our guys at AC Flora, and put them through those exact same tests, those speed, agility, and power tests, and showed them how they compared to the guys at the NBA Combine. So it's being able to show them how they compare, what we're doing, how it's gonna translate to their game, and then also setting those expectations from the start, and then staying on them and monitoring them and assessing them, and hopefully that they'll see that hard work they're putting in is paying off, and then it takes care of itself from there.
Well, to piggyback on what everything you just said, I was at the Prep Hoops Top 80 camp today, and of course Josh. Coach Staley. Hoop Phenom. I'm sorry. Phenom Hoop Report. I'm sorry. The Phenom.
Jamie Shaw.
Yeah, shout out to Jamie Shaw and Rick Lewis.
Some of the best in the business.
Yeah, they did a great job. It was a great camp. I enjoyed being there. What you saw was kids, like some of your kids from AC Florida, not get moved off their spots, which was a big thing. And you saw other kids that were kind of just pushed around, and you could tell that they're not putting in time in the weight room. And one of the biggest misconceptions I heard somebody say when I was at Denmark for a while is, why are we lifting weights, coach? It's going to mess up. Somebody told me it's going to mess up my shot. And I said, well, How's that? Tell me how. I don't know how.
Well, it will mess their shot up. Mess around and make it better. Get rid of that terrible thing you got pushing from your chest.
I mean, it's just it was amazing to watch, and you could tell the kids that were in the weight room that work at it. I know some kids are just freaks of nature, and they're just naturally strong. But even in that, some part of their body would be weaker. There are kids today that you just noticed it, like you just said, it jumped out at you, and that is just to speak to them really, really physically getting after it in the weight room. Because I think, I know Coach Staley said it last week. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Exactly. When you're in the weight room, everybody can go through the weight room workout. We can go through the circuit, but are you really, really lifting, or are you just going, okay, let me just?
Are you attacking the reps?
Are you attacking the reps?
So Coach Kurtz gave us an unbelievable detail of what it takes to be great physically. Tell me about the skill set element.
Well, I mean, just like anything, skill is, you have talent. Everybody has talent. But skill only comes of hours and hours and hours and hours and days and days and days of beating that on your craft. Like whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you, as an English teacher, when I'm teaching my English class, I said, if you want to be a writer, how can you be a writer and you don't write every day? How do you do that? I don't understand how some kids who say they want to be like the LeBron James, and if you go back and watch that video, the documentary they did on his team from that time, what you saw was them working out all the time. They were working on their skill. They were in practice, in the gym, with a ball. They have multiple. LeBron James has multiple workouts on YouTube where it's him in the gym with probably a trainer, and he's working on it. Kyrie all the time on videos, just working on his craft. And I think kids don't take the time. They think I'm supposed to just go out there and coach is going to roll this ball out, and we're going to go ahead and pick 5-on-5 and play park ball. You have to have every day. I think that you should be working on a different aspect of your game, and you turn around and then the next week you do it again. You do the same thing over and over again. You work on. For me, I'm a basketball coach, so for me we're going to work on your ball handling every day. We got to do something towards your ball handling every day, and then we're going to work on shooting every day, and then we're going to work on rebounding every day. Work on defense every day, and so this way, you're working on the skills that you need to be successful for when you go off and play in the grassroots tournaments, or you go to these camps. What I was completely impressed with my kids today was we worked on this week. We've been working a lot on defense, moving their feet and reaching less. And one of my kids who always reached the entire last year, I couldn't pay him not to reach, did not reach, and ended up with more steals this weekend than he had almost all year last year.
Your guys look good out there. I like
so to me, it was because we worked on it, and I had to constantly be in his ear saying it, and he had to constantly be doing it. And to Coach Kirsch said, y'all tested him. Well, we have this thing on Fridays where we max out and all of that on Fridays, and I don't know if that's the proper thing to do, but that's what we do. So I need advice on that.
Hey, if they're working. That's the number one thing for sure.
And then after that, I got the shoot. I have the shooting chart where they have to put up 300 shots, but it's 25 shots from this spot, and then 10 free throws, and then 25 and 10, 25 and 10. And after each section, they got to write down how much they made. And right now we're tracking that throughout the off season to help them get their shot better. What's funny is Trey went up. I didn't mean to use his name, but he went up, I think, by about 12% from last week to this week. And today, in his first game, hit about 5-6 threes. And you saw the marketable difference because he practiced on the skill that is his weakest. And I think sometimes kids figure, okay, well, I'm a ball handler. Well, ball handling wasn't. You only got 4 dribbles today. Mm-hmm. So your ball handling meant absolutely nothing today. It just meant now I got to be effective with what I got, with what I have. And so I think that a skill gets lost a lot because people mistake talent for skill. And that's a road that you can't go down, because you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not working on your skill, the skill set, the ability to catch a triple threat, create space without even putting the ball on the floor, turning your body between the defender and the ball, using effective dribble, pulling up, reading your defender, reading the help, having all of these different skill sets that take your talent to a whole nother level. And like I said, I think it goes underestimated. That's why a lot of parents with kids who are talented, and a lot of kids that are talented get over a lot, is because the talent only carries you to that next level. Okay, talent might get you out of high school. Okay, but when you get to college, everybody got talent. Everybody has it. They wouldn't be in college if they didn't have that talent. But what might set you apart, might set them apart from you, is the fact that they actually were in a culture in which, and their families and themselves believed in, I've got to work on this every single day, every single day, every single day, every single day, so that I can be the best that I could possibly be.
Yeah, well, I love that, what you just said, and I love that the lead-in that you had on from the previous podcast, where you're not going against 5 guys, you're going against 5,000 guys.
Yeah.
There's guys from all over that are coming to get you. And when we start training our middle school kids, I talk to them all the time about, hey, you might be the best athlete right now in your grade, and a lot of that has to do with your genetics and that you're just further along developmentally wise. But every time I see kids that are the best as 8th graders, and there's just kids that are hungry and outwork them and work on their skill set and work on their athletic development, and they pass them by the time they're seniors in high school, and then obviously it continues on through college. I mean, look at Steph Curry. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
who knew that? Like, I mean,
that's so much of skill set, and it gets us kind of to what we want to talk about next, the mental aspect of what it takes to be great. But speaking on that, like Coach Kurt's strength program is unbelievable, because I live with it. I live, and it's hard. I don't like it. I complain about it.
Guy's an angry guy, but he's not lifting by there, but he's an angry guy.
I complain about it daily, but heck, we're older now, and you're going to laugh. Most people aren't going to believe this, but heck, just this summer before I hurt my ankle, I was catching an alley-oop dunk from Matt Howard.
Shout out to Matt. Matt will vouch for it.
Matt will vouch for it. Ask him, man. Tweet him and ask him. He threw me up. And,
you got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, you got to see it. But you did see that time you came to our gym for the summer game, and me and my assistant coach gave y'all the business.
I will put my. I'll vouch that. I'll put my money on that. Coach Staley's the strongest basketball coach in the state. That's a strong dude right there.
That's fine. I will not tell a lie. I would not tell a lie. I do not. I lifted with those boys the other day.
Yeah. You don't like it?
I was sore for about 2-3 days. And, I don't think it saw me. I haven't been back. So
it gets into
every week I say, I'm gonna get back out there. I'm gonna get back out there with them, and I'm gonna do it with the kids that lift the lightest. And I'm just gonna work out with them. I figure it'll make it happen. And then I'm sore the next day.
Let's talk about this mental aspect of what it takes to be great. You got to be physically strong. You got to be skilled. Then you have the mental ability. You got to be mentally tough in order to be great. And one of the biggest things of being mentally tough is always having yourself under control. Like you can't be to the point where if your coach admonishes you or gets on you and you lose it and you flip out, that means you aren't under control, or you don't want to be the player that's in the game that the opposing coach is telling his guys, nudge him, push him, talk to him, because you're gonna lose control. So I think one of the first steps in being mentally tough, you have to be under control. You can't find yourself always losing it or catching an attitude or pouting when either someone's trying to get you better or someone is trying to just get up under your skin, which gets into when you're mentally under control and you got yourself under control. Now you can kind of focus on the things you can control. I think that's the next step in being mentally tough. You gotta really be able to understand what you can and cannot control. Like Coach Kurt said, I can go really attack the weight room. Coach English said, I can go take my 500 shots a day. You can control that. I can't control if the other guy come out and hit 12 threes. Okay? But I can't control if I was doing my squats efficiently. I can move my feet a little bit better, move my hips a little bit better to stay in front of that guy. Coach said work on not reaching. Now I can really sit down and grind and not reach. So you have to be able to focus on the things you can and cannot control, because you can't control them all. You can't control them all, and that's just another part of being mentally tough. Also, I think you have to learn from your past. Like, a lot of people aren't mentally tough because they make the same mistakes over and over. As coaches, we always say it. Like, stop making the same mistake, because in your mind, you aren't processing that mistake and learning from it.
Exactly.
I always tell my kids, like, I tell my sons this. A lot of people be like, oh, yeah, you got to go through it before you know what to do. No, you don't. Because if I see someone get hit by a car, I don't need to know that car hurts in order for, what I'm saying? I don't have to get hit by that car to know it hurts. Oh, man, I really wish they wouldn't have got hit. But let me look both ways so I don't get hit by the car. So you have to learn from your mistakes. You have to learn from other mistakes. Use it as others. Just use it as learning lessons, as stepping stools, as a ladder. And the next thing I think, is pretty big, because a lot of us don't do this. We have to stay away from a jealous spirit. Okay, that's being mentally tough. Like, let's say we're all teammates here, and Micah 12 for 15, lit him up for 35. Coach English, Yusuf over there had 17 points, 11 rebounds, and I was off, so I only played 5 minutes when I was averaging 17 minutes a game because I was off, so coach took me out. I have to be just as happy for those guys' success as if though I was scoring and rebounding myself. Most people struggle with this is because parents don't teach that at the house. Every morning my sons wake up, we say a few things every morning. Keep God first. Be a hard worker. If you want to be great, you got to work hard. Be a leader, not a follower. And one of the things that always stick to me, because my mom talked to me about this when I was little, never be jealous of anyone. Always be happy when someone else is successful. Because when you celebrate someone else's success, when you're happy because someone else is successful, it actually kind of enlightens you on what it takes for you to be successful. You can learn from them. You can learn from them.
I remember, just to speak to that, I remember when you went to, because I was at both of your state championship games, and I actually sat with your wife, both of them, and the one that you won, Lynn was like, she was like, well, are you going to go? I said, yeah, I got to go. That's my man. Like,
right.
That's my guy. Now, I could feel, now every year, every year I have this feeling that's burning inside of me that says, okay, this is my year. And I think as a coach, if you don't have that burning in you, you shouldn't even be doing it. But, like, if Jake was to go, I'd be right there. And not up at top mingling with the thing. I want to be in the stand sitting there because I want to be able to say, I sat there and watched you get this. I was genuinely happy for Josh. And because especially being on his staff at OW when we had an immaculate game plan and the bottom just fell out. And it was my only opportunity then. I know how the mountain that he climbed, and now he lost another one the year before, and it went right back. It takes a lot to be a winner consistently, but it also brings out so much jealousy out of people, and sometimes from the people that are closest to you. And I remember going, and I felt like, I've never told him this, but I felt like I won that day. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I won that day. I was so that happy for him that I felt like I won that day. But it's so many other people that just have that jealous spirit, and that's why they're not gonna get what should be laid out for them and what they should get, because they too busy worrying about what you got over there. It's like, when you talking about us, if you're off and this, that, and the third, and he's on, shoot, last weekend Chris got lit up for 200 yards in the first 3 quarters. They took him out, put another cornerback in. The cornerback gets an interception. Chris was the first one on the field to give him a high five.
That's awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Chris was the first one on the field, jumping up and down, this and that, and everything else.
Because team success is way more important than individual. Because if the team is succeeding, individuals are succeeding.
Well, that's why I'm happy that parents listen to this, because I think that, because I had one of the feedbacks I got, a parent was like, man, I really didn't understand it that way till you told it. Not talking about that, but Parents need to hear this. Kids need to hear this.
it's-
If the team is winning, your kid could drop 40 in a college and never walk through your gym if the team's losing. They might come initially, but he's on a losing team. What am I coming out here for?
Yeah, you got to, man. But to finish
I'm
up
sorry. I
these
didn't mean that.
no, you good. Characteristics of what it takes to be mentally tough. You don't want to be someone that's always being a pessimist and looking at what's wrong also. Because when you're that type of person, you're going to struggle. Something I tell my coaches, like, never look at what a kid can't do. Focus on what you can get out the kid. Because when you look at what a kid can't do, it's going to keep piling up. It's going to keep piling up. Like, so what can I get out of this kid? Then it reverses. You can grow. You can grow with that person. When you're competing, young people, and you're trying to be mentally tough, the only person you're competing with is yourself. Don't get caught up in trying to be like, well, I got to prove that, well, they ranked them number 20 and they ranked me 30. I got to show them that I'm better than that. No, don't worry about that, because people that do rankings are just that. People that do rankings. That's their job. They do the rankings. So live with what they do and prove to yourself that you're better than that. You don't have to prove it to anyone else, because as soon as you start proving it to someone else, all it takes for someone to be like, yeah, that's good, but I've seen better. Now you're right back to where you started from. You always want to prove it to yourself. And last but not least, on what it takes to be mentally tough, as far as being great, just always be grateful for what you have. I've seen kids be like, oh man, I only have one offer. Well, it's like 50 million kids in America with no offers. Okay, so be very appreciative. Be grateful for what you do have, and we're going to close that out on as far as what it takes to be great, and move into our next topic. With basketball tryouts coming up really, really soon, or just any trials, we're going to talk about it from a perspective. It could be any trial. Making the team, like what are coaches looking for when you go to these tryouts? Because sometimes tryouts can be tough, but making a team. How can I make this team? We're gonna start with Micah again this time.
I mean, obviously, you guys are the head coaches. You guys are the ones that are picking the teams. But I mean, I think you hit on a lot of that stuff in as far as being great. That doesn't even factor in your skill level, your athleticism, your whether you can shoot or not. But are you a good teammate? Are you a hard worker? How do you handle coaching? How do you handle criticism? What type of body language do you display out on the court? I mean, all that stuff. And again, you guys are the ones picking the team, but correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, that's stuff that you're looking at right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're not the best shooter out there, and if you maybe are not the most athletic kid out there, but you're a great teammate, you work extremely hard, you're extremely coachable, you handle criticism, you have great body language. I mean, that's gonna give you a good shot of having a shot to make the team without even being able to play. And then if you can rebound, then if you can defend, then if you're athletic and you can shoot it, now you're the man.
And to piggyback on what you said, I'm glad you said about being a great teammate. I've been blessed to have opportunity to coach a really, really, really good freshman point guard this year. He's just a freshman. And when you're the freshman quarterback, the freshman point guard is really, really hard. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, man, do I keep this kid on varsity or do I let him run the show on JV? But he did one thing to make me be like, I got to figure out how to keep this kid on varsity because I think he's going to be special. Every dead baller, every time a kid comes out in practice, he's dapping him up. Not after they make a great play, but while they're on the sideline, he's dapping them up. He's telling them good job. And I'm like, man, this is a freshman doing this. I need to have that kid in my locker room. So body language and being a great teammate is big for any team, especially if you're trying to make the team.
I mean, that I think speaks volumes. Is what you're doing, not what you say. You know what I'm saying? And it goes underestimated. Kids think that if they can ball, that assures them a spot on the team. I had a kid tell one of my assistant coaches this week. He asked him, "Hey, are you gonna come out for basketball?" Because he plays football. So are you gonna play basketball? He says, "Yeah. Well, if Coach E is gonna give me a spot, yeah, I'll come out." And I told the coach, I said, "Well, don't worry about it. You got to come and try out just like everybody else. You know,
I don't want a guy who's asking for a spot, guaranteed spot.
Yeah, before you even get here,
guys that want to compete. Right?
Yeah, I want guys that want to compete, that have that fire, that have that in them. That I mean, because I have this kid who last year there's a church league in the town where I coach, and I went there because another kid that was coming out who had came to workouts was like, "Hey, coach, I got a game in the church league." I said, "Okay, I'll come out there." And for lack of better words, little short white kid, couldn't do much, but man, and his form was ugly, but the ball kept going in, and he was hustling all over the court, like he was just running everywhere. And I was like, so I talked to him. I said, "Hey, what school do you go to?" He says he goes to the high. I said, "Well, we got workouts. Do you want to come out?" He's, "Oh no, coach, this is about as far as I'm gonna get, man." No, I'm all right. I said, "Man, just come out and see if you like it." He came out, and right now, he is the hardest working kid that I have. He will literally cry because he'll lift so hard or so much that when we go into the gym, he might start having a little chest pain or something. So he'd be like, "Coach, man, I can't be. Oh, all right, well, go sit down." "Nah, coach, I ain't sitting down. Please don't make me sit down. Please don't make me sit down." And he'll go and sit down and literally cry. And I have to go over there. I said, "Are you crying?" And he said, "Coach, man, I just want to be out there. And if I have an open gym, he's there. Now he's to the point where we had a little AAU team out of the area, and he led that team in scoring. Still can't dribble too well, but his form got better. His shot is more consistent. And now he's working on his skill, because every day he says, "Okay, coach, how was that?" And I'll go, "Nate, and stop asking, because I know that you know what it is." And what's so funny is to watch the kids progress, because the other kids around him like having him on their team, because he knows one thing: look, I can shoot it, I can't dribble. So if I catch it and I'm not open, I'm gonna pass it and I'm gonna run the play until I get it again. And if I'm not open, I'm gonna pass it and I'm gonna run the play until I get open again. And then when I get it and I'm open, I'm gonna hit it. So the kids are always looking for him. He plays defense as hard as he can, but that was because he's been working. And now he's gonna make the team with no problem. There's no fear in my heart. He's one of the best shooters we have in the program. And people laughed at him at first, and he didn't care.
Yeah.
He daps everybody up, just like, Coach Josh said. He just goes through his daily grind, and he's a grinder. And, even if he didn't have top skill, he made the team last year, and we kept him on after football got out. But, even now, he's better than some of the kids that we got coming in, and he's probably going to get playing time. Now, I don't see him making an impact probably till the senior year, because he's got that far of a way to go.
Right.
But because of his work ethic, I know he's going to get there. Now, from a skill aspect, what I know what we do at my where I am is I give all my assistant coaches a sheet, and on that sheet it has ball handling, rebounding, a number of different categories, and I give them the sheet and I run the practice. I give each one of them a sheet, and then they just mark from 1 to 10 in each category. And then we get together as a staff. They give me their sheets. We put it on who had the most points. And we just put it up. We add up all the points. And just whoever had the most points, top 12 varsity, bottom 12 JV, unless the JV players junior, we kick them off, add somebody younger. And then we take into account study hall hours and other little stuff. But from a skill aspect, we look on ball handling. Is your ball handling effective? 1. 2, are you being pushed off your spot? Because a lot of kids, they can do a dribble drill when ain't nobody playing defense.
Oh, by far, I can dribble right now.
But then once somebody starts playing defense and physically getting in them, now it's, here we go. It's a turnover every 10 seconds. They want to go between their legs and do too much. Shooting the ball, how does their form look? Are they taking good shots? Are they taking bad shots? Basically the shot selection. Are they playing selfishly? Because, tryouts, a good bit of tryouts is just, hey, you 5 and you 5 and let's see what happens. And are they playing selfishly? Are they going to make a layup 1-on-3 when they could kick it to the corner for a wide open shot? I'm looking for, kids that are going to make the correct play. What is the correct basketball play in the situation. Or rebounding. Not only did you rebound, but are we boxing out? The person who's nowhere, who you can't get a rebound, are you boxing out? We have a saying that goes on: if you're on the side, you ride. If you're opposite, you hit and go get. So are you riding out your man on that side? Now we teach them all these things, and we teach them the drills, and then we testing their listening, their ability to listen. Then we teach them a little simple play, and we say, okay, run it. Can they run the play? We're looking for IQ, especially on the varsity level, because in the league we play in, excuse me, and just to get to the championship game, we have a gauntlet of what you say about 7 of the top 10 teams in the state. From the lower state,
it's depressing.
it's
like
it's nuts.
Not only are the kids talented, like these dudes know how to coach.
Yeah, it's
I'm like every night is like, oh my gosh, like you're going through 3, 5, 10 adjustments. I'm like, bro, can you just make me adjust once or twice and get out of there?
And the worst part is especially when you know the coach and you know how they prepare.
Yeah.
You know how hard they prepare. Like, I know Josh knows how hard I prepare. I know how hard he prepares. I had to play Jake last year, and I know how hard Jake prepares. And shoot, Jake had me down, and I had to go to something completely away from what we was doing because Jake prepared well enough to take away what we did. And I have to have players on the floor or on the team that can ride with those adjustments.
Right.
And from a skill aspect, that's the biggest skill. The biggest skill a coach looks for. Listen to this. Listen to me, kids, parents, everything. Listening. The skill of freaking listening. Just the skill of listening. Because if you do not have that, I promise you, I don't care how good you are. You'll sit on the bench. You'll make the team. But you'll sit on the bench if you can't listen. If we calling man and you in zone, you do not help me. If we're calling big you and you running something else, you are not helping me. So the skill of listening, you want a skill? That's it. If there's the list of skills, the number one is listening. Listening and then being a teammate. I think those are the two of the top skills that's something parents can do for their kid that'll help them make the team. Because if you sit there, think about all the trials of the kids you've cut. It's 9 times out of 10, well, about 50% of them is kids that can't play. All right, the other 50 is probably kids that just, if they would just listen, would have made the team.
Yeah, but it goes back so we can finish up on making the team. Both of y'all made unbelievable points, but I don't think, because a lot of people listen, like you just said, they listen. They hear you, but they're not really listening.
Yeah, that's it.
See, hearing something and listening are two totally different things. Like, I heard.
You got programmed in, and they just say yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. They don't listen.
Then when you're listening, you're like you're calculating the data. Both of these coaches just in front of me, they talked about what it takes to make the team. But did you notice how they talked about how the program works year round? Coach English said, I asked the kid, do you want to come to workouts? See, the day of just the mass bodies at a tryout and trying out for 2 or 3 days, that crap is so far gone. Yeah. Look, unless you're like a flat out monster, I'm talking about monster, like walk in the gym and the coach is about to put you on the team before you even warm up because you look like something unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's hard to walk in the gym and just make a team with 2 or 3 days of tryouts. 1, 2, maybe 3 days. Because those kids, it's just not mathematically, logically, scientifically possible for you to keep up with a kid that's been grinding and lifting and skill setting for, let's say, 4.5 months straight. You aren't going to be able to keep up with it.
It's not possible.
And you come out there, like I said, you're going to have to be something unbelievable. I had kids tell me all the time, yeah, I work out. Okay, and I'm not doubting that you work out, but you're going to have to be able to fit into a whole program if you're trying to stick around. Let's close this thing out, this episode out, man. We got one more topic we want to talk about, which is something called the privileged athlete. Okay, and we're not talking about privilege in a sense, nice car, nice home, in monetary and physical things like that. We're talking about that athlete that thinks they someone owes them something, you know. So we're going to talk about that again. We're going to start with Micah. He's going to basically break down what a privileged athlete is, and then we'll go from round table from there, breaking it down why it's important not to be one.
Well, like Coach Staley just said, I mean, the privileged athlete stems from is an athlete that thinks they deserve everything and don't have to earn it. Coach English talked about the guy who said, "Oh yeah, I might come out if Coach will give me a spot on the team." What is that? You earn your spot, and honestly, I think a lot of that now is becoming more prevalent, and it stems from, which it could be another great show topic, is growing up. Pop Warner Little League participation trophies.
Oh,
participation trophies. All these guys just rolled their eyes. Coaches do not like participation trophies. If you're a competitor, you should not like participation trophies. And so these kids grow up like, hey, I showed up and I played basketball, I played in the football game, and I get a trophy. I was the worst player on the team. We got beat by 50, but I got a trophy. And so now they just think they deserve it.
They're supposed to get something, yeah.
And that's develops that privileged mindset. And now, it's sports, like we've talked about it last week. I mean, sports, training, there is no better breeding ground for being a success in life than sports and training. And because you get rewarded for your hard work and for being a great teammate and for being a good person and for being coachable. But now, for somehow these youth leagues have decided that it's a good idea to say, hey, everybody wins, everybody gets a trophy, and it's developing a privileged athlete, and it is doing more harm for the athlete, for when they get to high school, and it's not doing them any good for teaching them lessons to go on for the rest of their life. So that's my thoughts on the privileged athlete, and I think participation trophies have a lot to blame for that.
I think I'm going to talk about it from this standpoint. If you're a privileged athlete, this is why a college coach will not recruit you. Okay, one, if you think someone owes you something, you're not going to go as hard or go after it as hard as someone that feels like they're trying to earn something. Okay, because owing and earning are two totally different things. College coaches want people on their team that are going to try to earn things because life isn't easy. I saw a statement, I think it was Coach Kersey told me how CEOs read so many books. Well, the reason they're reading so many books is because they're constantly trying to earn and acquire knowledge. They're not thinking, they don't go with the mindset that someone owes them something to continue to be the CEO. So you want to constantly earn it. And if you're not an earner, college coaches don't want you around. Because if you're privileged and you think someone owes you something, you're not going to be a great teammate. You're not going to get to practice on time. You're going to be one of those guys that are the last to arrive and the first to leave. You want to be the complete opposite of that. You want to be the first to arrive. You want to be the last to leave, because those are the type of guys that college coaches want in their locker room. Okay? My job is on the line as a college coach because this is what I do. So I got to have kids that are willing to buy in. They won't recruit you if you aren't going to buy in and do whatever it takes for the team to be successful. If you're a guy that's only worried about your numbers, college coaches aren't going to recruit you. Look at the Carmelo Anthony situation. Carmelo Anthony, every day nowadays everybody says, "Oh, I'm not a post player. I'm a stretch four, or I'm this and I'm that." Carmelo Anthony, to me, has one of the best skill sets ever to play in the NBA. Yeah, he doesn't have championships, and you could talk about that on and on. But skill set wise, you're not going to find too many 6'9" dudes that could do what he does with the ball.
No.
He went to Syracuse with this skill set. And of course, he got better over time, but he went to Syracuse. And if you watched Syracuse win that national championship when he was there, he played power forward.
Yeah.
Not the stretch four. Not a 3-man playing small. This young man played power forward, and the bulk of his points came from the paint. He scrapped, he rebounded, he defended. Well, as best as Melo can defend, but he did whatever he possibly could have done for the team to be successful. Nowadays you have kids that be like, well, I had a kid say, well, I'm not a post player, so he got me playing a forward. Well, what are you then? Because basketball players, if you're looking at sports nowadays, not even just basketball, from every element, if you look at basketball players, they do whatever it takes to win. The great ones do. You got Montgomery that was drafted as a wide receiver by the Green Bay Packers, and isn't he their starting running back right now? This man was wearing number 88 in the backfield. Imagine if he was like, man, I'm a wide receiver. I'm not a running back. No, great players do whatever it takes for the team to win. So if you're not one of those guys willing to do whatever it takes for the team to win, that college coach is not going to recruit you. If you aren't coachable, that college coach isn't going to recruit you. And what does it mean, coachable? Well, listen, I did what you tell me to do, but how did you do it? Did you do it with an attitude, or did you do it accepting and willingly and with the mindset of this is what it's going to take for the team to be successful? So, parents, make sure, like Coach Kurt said, you I know everybody wants their baby to get their trophies. I know some of y'all parents will be like, oh, Josh, you're wrong for that. Several times, like my sons play Little League, I didn't let them get the trophies at the end of the year.
I love that.
I didn't let them get it. Like, I literally
didn't earn it.
I just act like we forgot to go out there that Saturday and get the trophy. Because you know why? Even though they're only 9 and 6 and they were younger back then, be an earner now, because majority of your peers aren't going to be earners. But eventually you're going to run into other earners. And if you aren't an earner, and it's not deeply embedded in you, in your heart, your mind, your body, your soul, you're going to fold. Okay, I'm not raising laundry. I'm raising strong young men. So yeah, I a lot of times I don't let them get the trophy.
And that can be a great learning lesson you can give them. Then let them go up and get their little participation trophy, take that picture, and then when you walk into the car, say,
yeah,
all right, son, throw that thing out.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I mean, but that's what we. I guess that's kind of the culture that has been that we're in now, is because they don't want any kid to feel bad. You know, we don't want any of the kids to feel bad, so we're just going to give everybody this.
But you're going to feel bad later.
Yeah, but welcome to life.
Yeah, but see, but just like on our awards, I don't believe in giving out an MVP, but I will give out these other little awards. I don't give everybody. Everybody don't get one.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't get one.
I hope not.
But you know,
a hell of a team.
I give out like 3, and that's it. And it's 9 times out of 10 geared around leadership and teammate and stuff like that, characteristics and highest GPA. Like, those are the things that I give out, because those are the things that you want to make sure that you foster in the kids, because that's a part of what makes your program a winning program. I didn't do it on purpose, but my son played soccer for the first time, played his first sport. Loves soccer, apparently. I can't get it out of him. I want to get it out of him, but I can't.
No, let that boy play soccer.
He likes soccer. All right, so like his Uncle Malcolm, I send his Uncle Malcolm the pictures when he takes them. But anyway, so they were going. They had to play their last game, and then they had to go take pictures, and then they had to go pick up the participation trophy. So he went, took the pictures, and it said participation trophy. So whatever. So I just put him in the car and left. So Lynn calls me, hey, where's Mir? I said, we gone. What happened? Well, he didn't get his trophy. They looking for him to give him his trophy. I said, man, I'm not bringing him back up there for that. And it wasn't done consciously. I didn't consciously do it, and I didn't even think about it. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not going back up there for this little plastic thing that's supposed to make him feel okay about the fact. Now, he did score the most goals on his team. Yeah. But then again, it's a bunch of 4-year-olds running around. Yeah, somebody had to score more than 3.
I left my participation trophies on purpose. Let that be noted and filed. We did not want those things. And I'm glad you said that about the trophies, because something I do personally with my team, I don't give out an MVP award at the end of the season.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really do the best rebound. I don't do best defense because I believe everything that you succeed at this level, it depends on your teammates.
Yeah.
You need each other. Now, I do completely agree at the NBA and NFL level. I believe in the MVP because I believe Russell Westbrook was the most valuable player in NFL, in the NBA, pardon me. But that's something totally different. These are grown men that understand what it takes to be successful.
Because they are.
I don't want to be a part of that genre that's teaching kids the lack of importance of what it means to be a great person, a great teammate. So you're never going to play for me. Since I've been coaching, I've only gave out one MVP trophy. And it went to a kid whose dad passed away right before the season started. And that kid was really close to her dad. She didn't miss a workout. She didn't miss a practice. You know, your dad just died. Most people take off a month, 2-3 months. But she fought through it, and we were able to have a successful season. And the MVP meant more than just basketball stats because she wasn't really a big-time statistical leader. She was a starter. But it meant the fact that she still put the team before everything else. She was being a great teammate was more important than putting herself first. That's the only MVP trophy I gave out. But I think we can bring this session to an end. Keep an eye out for the Workout Warrior of the Week. We'll be posting either later on tonight or first thing in the morning. We had a guest coach this week. Coach Rob Rose did the workout. He did some great work. We're going to be tagging him and giving him credit for that workout. If you're interested in him working one of your kids out, we'll get his contact information out to you.
Well, thanks again for riding with us on another Sunday. Once again, you can join the conversation. Email us at TheStaleyandEnglishshow. That's AND, TheStaleyandEnglishshow at gmail.com. Leave us your comments, shout outs, anything you want to do. Also, we're starting to take on advertising. If you're a small business owner or a big business owner and you're looking to advertise, just email us and we'll send you out an advertising packet. Also, you can now catch us on iTunes. That's kind of big.
Oh yeah,
You can now catch us on iTunes. Just search the Staley and English Show on iTunes. Download the podcast, and you can take us on the ride. Coach Kurtz, we're out of here. What you got to say?
Sir, appreciate it, fellas, and hey, just say no to participation trophies.
Say no, man. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills for the win. Shout out to the Giants for doing what they do.
Hey, you want to be great? We got a mission for our strength program. Be the best at getting better. Just get a little better every day.
Powerful.
Be the best at getting better.
No doubt, man.
Be the best at getting better. Have a great
Greatness. It's just something we made up. Somehow we've come to believe that greatness is a gift, reserved for a chosen few. For prodigies. For superstars. And the rest of us can only stand by watching. You can forget that. Greatness is not some rare DNA strand. It's not some precious thing. Greatness is no more unique to us than breathing. We're all capable of it. All of us.
You have greatness within you. You have the ability to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. See, I believe that anybody through observation and practice can perform at the level of excellence. But when you're pursuing your greatness, this is worth writing down. You don't know what your limits are, and you act like you don't have any. So I say to you, you have something special. You have greatness within you.
Stage is set for me to be ranked as the greatest of all time.
Greatness is not this wonderful, esoteric, elusive, God-like feature that only the special among us will ever taste. It's something that truly exists in all of us. It's very simple. This is what I believe, and I'm willing to die for it.